sense. Like, I think the 49ers this last year were like, man, we're spending 45% of the cap on D-line. Like, we have to get better bang for the buck. And I think they're looking right now at their wide receiver position. And I think it'd be foolish to think they're not thinking about it. And they're going, is it the best team building strategy to invest $55 million or so every year into the wide receiver spot? Not saying that like Debo's overpaid or Ayuk's overpaid. I'm just saying, is that a great team building strategy?
I don't know. I don't think teams are building from the wide receiver out. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I don't think they're starting from the wide receivers. They start with the quarterback first and foremost. And then you look at the D-line and you look at the trenches because you understand that the games are won and lost in the trenches. When it comes down to playoff football, who's controlling the line of scrimmage? So what are we invested in? Are we invested in the offensive line? It all depends on the team and how they want to build their team. But I don't think anybody in this league is going to build through their wide receiver. But having a dynamic wide receiver, now Kansas City has proven that you can win a Super Bowl. But why? They have the best quarterback possibly in the history of the NFL.
Yeah. I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's outliers to that. But the 49ers, they need that weapon. Like, they needed Brandon Ayuk to pop the last 2 years. They needed Debo Samuel to pop. You need playmakers in this league.
You're 100% correct. And I do believe there's a sound argument to be like, you cannot invest $55 million into the wide receiver position. I get that point. But when I'm paying my quarterback under $1 million, now's the time to do it for the next year or two, right? So I don't want to see them jump out in front of this and trade one of these wide receivers just yet. Let's give it one more year and wait till you have to pay Purdy to make any of these moves.
Well, here's why I want to run it back. I think Purdy's a good quarterback. I don't think he's great. Does he have a chance to be great? We'll see. But I want to see him do it again for another year before I pay him $40 million a year.
I'm with you.
Like, here's the elephant in the room.
I'm 100% with you.
And I like Brock. He's got a small frame. Dude's small. He's had multiple injuries already in the first 2 years of his career. You can't deny those facts. Concussions, the rib, the elbow. What else? Did he have something else?
You referenced the concussion.
Right. Yeah, he had a concussion. So I want to wait. I need to see him do it again before I pay Brock Purdy. Because let's be real. Now that we're here and you've gone through the malaise after the Super Bowl and the playoffs, Brock Purdy specifically. First 3 quarters of Green Bay. Now, he came back and won it. Everybody's going to say, well, you won the game. When I tried to say that about Jimmy G, it was like, no, Bonte, Jimmy G was awful. Okay, so if we're going to play by those rules, because I'll play by everybody's rules. Jimmy G, you want to say he was awful? Nah. Fine. Brock Purdy was not good against the Green Bay Packers. Brock Purdy, the first half against the Detroit Lions, he was not good. You're down 17. Terrible interception. Bad reads, bad throws, overthrows. Inaccuracy with the deep ball. Let's be real. Let's just be honest. Can we just be honest for a day about Brock Purdy's performance in the postseason?
And in the final drive against Green Bay, they jumped a couple of routes. If you got to go back and watch.
Right. So you tell me, did Brock Purdy look like a $40 million a year quarterback in the playoffs?
I thought he looked better in the Super Bowl than the 2 prior games, but even then, I'm reluctant to pay any quarterback 40 or 50. But like, I'm being real with you here. Like, I'm reluctant because you know why? You know why?
I hear you.
You know why I am, and there's a Brock Purdy element, but here's the other part. Like, when you give that guy that much money, look at Dak. It has limited the Cowboys' ability to surround him with the appropriate playmakers to elevate his game. When you look at the Broncos and what they had to do with Russell Wilson, when you look at Deshaun Watson's contract in Cleveland, they're prohibitors, not enhancers. Like, that's why if I'm Miami, I'm very reluctant to pay Tua. Right? You see where I'm going with this?
No, I see where you're going.
There are very few players.
But I want to ask you a direct question. It's a yes or no question.
I'm not ready to pay him right now at all. Even though I know you can't.
Right.
I want to see another year and make an evaluation. I want to see another playoff run. Like, I am reluctant to pay just about every quarterback in the league not named Mahomes.
I'm asking a question. And I'll ask 3 questions here. I'll ask 2, since we're talking about Ayuk and we're talking about Purdy now. Because what you do this offseason obviously is going to impact next offseason and what you do with Brock Purdy. Number 1, 888-957-9570, folks. Are you willing to pay Brandon Ayuk Would you be cool with Brandon Ayuk making $25 to $28 million a year as a wide receiver? And number two, did Brock Purdy look like a $40 million quarterback in the playoffs? $40 million a year? Did he look like a $40 million a year quarterback? I'm going to say no, and it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to say no. I'm not being a hater.
Well,
he came back and won those games. But $40 million? Jimmy Garoppolo won those same games. And I'm not the biggest Jimmy Garoppolo fan at all. I was a cheerleader for him for a while. I was like, man, this guy's winning games. And I understood that he's throwing to Trent Taylor. He's throwing to Kendrick Bourne. He's throwing to a rookie in Deebo Samuel. He didn't have these weapons. Not these weapons. He didn't look like a $40 million a year quarterback, and everybody wanted him out of town. He eventually got out of town. But Brock Purdy in the postseason, let's be real. Let's be honest with ourselves. And Brock Purdy had a very good season. Hell, he could have been the MVP of the year. But did he look like a $40 million a year quarterback in the playoffs? And no, he did not. He did not.
How many people scoffed at paying Lamar Jackson? How many people scoffed at paying?
Oh, everybody. Everybody.
Now,
I love Lamar.
He has not performed in the playoffs. Purdy has won more games and shown more in the playoffs than Lamar Jackson has. But I think most normal, thinking fans would be like, yeah, Lamar Jackson is a franchise type of a player that you should invest in. But even then, you're like, he runs around. I'm worried about injuries.
Well, we saw what happened Christmas night. I don't know if you didn't go to that game,
no,
right?
No, he was spectacular.
So I was at that game.
I was holding my baby. Yeah. I wanted to go. My wife wouldn't let me.
I was at that game.
I was very angry.
I watched Lamar and I watched Brock. And it was a big-time football game. And both those teams wanted it. And it wasn't even close on who the best quarterback on the field was. It wasn't even close, Shasky. But I'm sorry. Joe Burrow, Brock Purdy, same thing. Head up. Because this is what we're talking about now. The elite of the elite. Joe Burrow's on the same football field with Brock Purdy. You were at that game. No, did you go to see Brock? Did you see Joe Burrow this year? I don't know if you saw.
I only went to like 4 games this year.
Okay, all right. So
I was at that game,
and I said, damn, Joe Burrow's good. I don't think he had like one incompletion in the first half.
Daniel Jones is making $40 million this year.
Wow.
Daniel
Classic
Jones.
Overpay. Classic overpay.
I'm taking Brock Purdy
no doubt.
all day to the high heavens.
No
Kyler
doubt.
Murray's making $46 million, right? This is what the market is telling you that these guys are like.
You're taking Brock over Kyler? Kyler bounced back.
He did bounce back, but I'm probably taking Brock. But again, I don't love a $46 million price tag. Why is that? When I say that, why does that disqualify me liking the player, but not liking the value?
I don't even. You made that up.
No. But what I'm saying, because I know I'm going to say these things,
right?
And then I'm going to get labeled a hater.
You know what? I'm going to say this right now as you're listening to 95.7 The Game.
Like, I don't want to pay
spicy.
Kirk Cousins $45 million.
I'm feeling spicy right now. You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and AC1 San Francisco.
I feel like Kirk Cousins.
Don't forget, you can also watch us every single day on our YouTube, Twitch streams. Just all got to search 95.7 The Game. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel while you are there. Brought to you by First NorCal Credit Union. Upgrade your savings dividend. Open a First NorCal First Class Money Market today. Shout out to the Comcast Business Text Line. Shameless shout-outs coming at 8:45. We got Mia O'Brien. Great job, Lubman. Mia O'Brien at 8 a.m. She's going to join us to talk about these Ayuk rumors. 8 a.m. Mia O'Brien from down in Jacksonville. Great job, Lubman. But let's roll up the sleeves for a little bit here. So now I'm feeling spicy.
All top 10 quarterbacks, all the top 10 highest paid quarterbacks are above $40 million. It's 40 and up. Dak, Daniel Jones, Matt Stafford.
Can I just say this? You said something that, somebody's going to pick up what you said and run with it. I don't give a damn what people think about my opinions about sports. All right? If they could clip it, I don't care. I got called, just 2 weeks ago, I got called all kind of names for an interaction with Draymond Green. And you know what? I don't even care. The other day I woke up in the morning and somebody tagged me in a tweet and said, "What's up, B-word?" I don't really care what people think about what I say about Brock Purdy anymore. I have my opinion just like you have your opinion. So I'm not going to worry about what people are saying about how I feel about Brock Purdy. I feel like I'm going to be... He did not look like a $40 million a year quarterback. Now, Daniel Jones is not a $40 million a year quarterback. That's why the New York Giants are going to move off of him.
And we all thought it was a poor move. I mean, he threw 17 touchdowns or 15 touchdowns the year they went to the playoffs.
So now...
Talk about Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones. So now, I swear to God, we walked out of Allegiant Stadium after that Super Bowl, and the first thing Joe Shasky the Butcher said to me, he was right across from me in his Giants cap and his Giants jacket, looking dapper, ready for baseball. The first thing Shasky said to me was, damn, that was the difference between great and just good.
It was.
And it just wasn't good enough. And we watched him in the playoffs miss deep ball after deep ball after deep ball. Miss. Interceptions. I mean, he got away with some throws in the Detroit game. I said, damn. Oh, boy. We're fortunate. We're fortunate to even get to the damn Super Bowl. Let's be real here. We were fortunate to get to the Super Bowl. Had Dan Campbell not had a couple questionable decisions go his way. The Lions should have been playing the Kansas City Chiefs in Las Vegas. Let's be honest. We stole one.
Well,
we stole one. And you know what? We got a stolen back from us in Las Vegas. Why? Because they couldn't execute in the most important plays. When Shanahan's running, yelling, McCaffrey, 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 and Purdy's throwing it in McDuffie's hands, and he's batting it down on 3rd and 5, you're thinking, damn.
I just think the way that I value and I look at players in the NFL is there's value and there's money and there's other, like Josh Allen. When I watch Josh Allen play for Buffalo, there's no amount of money that they could pay him that doesn't tell me he's worth every bit of it. When I watch Patrick Mahomes, it doesn't matter what that man is. Steph Curry's a great example. If you told me Steph Curry makes 100% of the salary cap, I'd be like, yeah, he deserves it. Right. You know, LeBron James for 20 years, you know. But a lot of the other guys, a lot of really good players, how much are you making? Mm-hmm. Right? Like that does matter. The Gordon Hayward contract in the NBA. He's a good player, right? He's getting great money. Jaylen Brown, your boy. Did you want to pay him $300 million?
Mm-mm.
Right? Mm-mm. So I look at the NFL and it's like, I think Dak is actually really good. I think people hate on Dak. I think Dak's good. Do I think he's great? Right. No. Do I think him making the amount of money that he makes actually sets him up for less success because they can't afford other pieces around him? Absolutely. And that baked into the equation of how people view Dak Prescott.
This is great. YouTube. I love YouTube. To everybody out there listening, Chris B, YouTube. Did you forget, Steve Young talked about this? Brock Purdy did play week 18 and had a bye week, and it threw his rhythm off. Well, can I use that excuse for Jimmy Garoppolo in the Minnesota game? Oh, can I use the same excuse? I'm not here for that. Not today, man. Because we're talking about Brandon Ayuk. You take away Brandon Ayuk from Brock Purdy next year. Let's just hypothetically play this game. Brandon Ayuk says, I want to go to Jacksonville. Now, obviously, the Niners will try to draft a wide receiver.
I don't want to even see what that looks like, but I don't think it's going to be good.
Yeah, I don't want to see what it looks like either. When you look at that schedule next year, come on, man. And you got to draft a rookie, get him up to speed, and learn this offense. And we know how complex it is.
Yeah, outside of Debo, no rookie wide receiver has stepped in the Shanahan era and looked competent.
At all. Not even Brandon Ayuk.
Dante Pettis, I don't even know.
Not even Brandon Ayuk.
No.
Not even close.
No.
So let's be careful with trading Brandon Ayuk. Brock Purdy needs all the weapons he can get right now. Like early on, and it's okay for Brock Purdy to be in the spot. He's entering his 3rd year in the league.
No doubt.
When Tom Brady was at that stage, I don't think he could carry a team yet. I don't think he could carry an offense yet. He was still learning the ropes and still, figuring things out while he's with the Super Bowls. Had a run game, screen game, and a great defense with a great head coach in Bill Belichick. Let Brock Purdy get there. But right now, can Brock Purdy elevate an offense by himself? Well, we saw the 3 games. Cleveland, Minnesota, Cincinnati. 5 interceptions. 17, 17, 17. And it's okay. And I said it in real time. It's okay for Brock Purdy to be in that position. He's only in his 2nd year. That was his first full season. But let's keep it real, man. But it's okay. So I'm not gonna get swayed by what people online think about our opinions about Brock Purdy because we're a little critical of Brock Purdy. No. Doesn't make us a hater. I'll pull for the young man. The guy is one of the best stories in the North American sports history, and he would have been had he won that Super Bowl. It's okay. But also, I'm not gonna just sit here and tuck my tail because somebody online is gonna say, "Oh, look what he said about Brock Purdy. He doesn't like Brock Purdy." Blah, 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 blah. Like I don't care about that stuff anymore. Just being honest.
No, but I think it's so interesting because when you get stuck in one of these, and I say stuck because when your quarterback is making unbelievable amounts of money, it makes it really hard to field the team around him. I look at someone like Trevor Lawrence. Jacksonville doesn't know if they want to pay Trevor Lawrence, and that's the smart thing to do.
Right.
Because I don't know. I think Purdy's been better than Trevor Lawrence, and it's not even close.
Right.
I don't think it's even close. And yet, Trevor Lawrence is coming up for a contract extension, and I think the best thing that they could do is let the man play it out. I don't know why Niner fans have to throw the bag at everyone, and we have to throw the bag at people prematurely. Let's pump the brakes. Let's let this thing play out. Because I hear all the beat writers are like, well, you're going to have to pay Brock Purdy $50 million in a couple of years. Can we just wait? Can we just get down the line before we start paying everyone? I don't understand why we can't just allow things to settle. A great example of this is Eric Armstead, who we referenced. We were ready to call Eric Armstead a bust day one.
Right.
Year 2, year 3. It took, I believe, until his 4th full season for us to even know what position the guy played.
Yep.
All right? And he ended up being a really good 49er, right? But if we were to this is what he is, we never would have had an opportunity to see how good he was. Same can go on the other end of the spectrum. I really like Brock Purdy. He's been excellent. Absolutely excellent. But to go all the way flying to the other side of the room, got to carve out all of this money and pay him $55 million a year because that's what the market dictates. And these are the weapons we're going to have to get rid of to be able to set this guy up for money. Let's just let the season play out, and let's keep as many weapons as we possibly can.
I'm saying.
That doesn't mean we don't love Brock. It doesn't mean we don't think that the team, he's better when the team is more loaded. Every quarterback is better when the team's more loaded. I don't like paying Baker Mayfield $35 million a year, which is what his new contract's going to give him. I think it makes it more difficult to field the team around him. I want to suppress Brock's contract as long as I possibly can, and that is not a discredit to Brock, and that is nothing other than I want the best possible team to win the Super Bowl.
All right, well said.